Alright, guys, I said it in the last episode. We are about to go through and progress through all of the metal tiers, but we are going to do it in style. I don't want to be standing at those manual forges over there melting down all of our stuff. It's episode 8 of the TerraFirmaPunk series. Let's get an induction smelter. Alright, so we did manage to get an induction smelter, and we will check it out in just a moment, but we also managed to get something else. We got a windmill. Oh yeah, and it is looking pretty cool up there if I do say so myself. I really like the way that it is integrated into the building. Now let's go and take a look at that super smelter. And here it is, the induction smelter. I believe I called it a super smelter, but it might as well be that because the thing that is so amazing about this, we'll just take a couple of stacks of nickel here. This is nickel. We can take it and dump it on into this, and it'll fill all the way up as much as we want it to. And then all we have to do is increase the temperature of the crucible itself until it gets to a meltable temperature for this. So we'll just increase it, and there we go. You can see it's starting to melt. And then after it actually runs out of all of the metal that we have fed it just now, and there we go. All of that has melted in there. We used all 100,000 RF of our power as well. But you can see that it is now starting to fill up our molds automatically. And what's so awesome is once it gets full, automatically sticks it into the chest and gets a new one going. So this will actually start cooling down, and then once all of it is cooled, we can simply double click on one of the ingots and it'll grab all of them, and we can pop them out of their ingot molds and go stack them up. Really, really handy, really useful. I love this thing, and it was so worth our time. I've got to grab my last piece of food, my charred rye bread that I like didn't pay attention to while I was cooking it, and yeah, we're about to get going, guys. Let's go and get rich. All right, so we have went through and gotten a decent amount of metal, as you can probably tell. Yeah, this is a lot of metal right here. So we got tons of copper, we got some nickel, we've got some zinc, some bismuth, some tin, and some brass, and we are gonna take them and go downstairs and stack it up. Oh man, and now walking in this metal room, it looks a lot more impressive. I am really liking the way that this is going. So, you can see that we are down on some of the bronze, the bismuth bronze, black bronze. I want to get a lot of that made up. We also need a lot of this sterling silver and rose gold to get onto these metals. We're going to be getting on to the red steel and blue steel tiers. There's also like constantan and electrum that I also need to smelt up and make, but we might save that for when we actually need it. I don't know how useful that is going to be for us. So I guess let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start working out exactly what I need. Alright, so I've got a little bit of a plan. We're going to start out making a batch of weak steel. We're going to be making 42 of them, so that is going to be a ton of them. So what weak steel is essentially is you're going to take this and we weld it to pig iron, and that gets us one black steel ingot. We need black steel in order to make weak blue steel and weak red steel. It's over half of the whole recipe of each of these steel ingots. So we're going to need a ton of this black steel stuff. Not only that, after we get the weak blue steel and weak red steel, the way we make it into high carbon blue and red steel is by welding it to a black steel ingot. So there is a lot to this, and we are going to be getting into a lot of metalworking real quick, mostly getting into these two tiers right here. So I guess I just did all of this math kind of on a scratch sheet of paper right here. Hopefully it's right. We'll just go in, we'll throw in 24 steel, 6 nickel, and 12 black bronze, and that should get us the consistency I want. We're shooting for 60% steel, 15% nickel, and 25% black bronze. Okay. Well, it's not the exact ratio I wanted, but it is very, very close, so that is good enough for me. Now let's start making some weak steel ingots, and I'm going to have to be really cautious. It actually costed a little more than I thought it would, but yeah, I'm going to have to be cautious of how we do this. We've got to let these cool down just enough to where we can weld them, and then weld them together with this, and then I want to store them back on the shelf, because they don't actually lose their heat if we do that. Alright, there we go. We got 2 of them right here that are ready to weld. We're going to just kind of store them for now so that we can keep rolling on getting these popped out of their ingot molds. Alright, now let's act quickly. We'll weld that together. Weld that together. Cool, we are making a little bit of progress here. Let's go ahead and pop that one out. Yeah, I'm just going to go through and be welding these things on up, and then hopefully storing them in time to be able to weld them once again. Because, like I said, we have to weld a lot of these into the red steel ingots as well. Alright, so before we go and check all of the black steel ingots that I have managed to craft up and go ahead and start melting down all of our other metals we want to make, right now it is autumn, and yeah, let's go ahead and harvest these olive trees. The olive trees are totally ready. Let's get them all harvested up, and I think that we might be able to put these in our squeezer that we have now to get the olive oil out of them. I found out that if you hover over them and just press S, it condenses it down as much as it possibly can. So over there, we got over a stack of olives from this tree alone, and I think I've got like 4 trees planted. 5? Yeah, I've got 4 more to harvest. Oh man, we have got a lot of olives to get. Alright, so from that harvest, we happen to get 5 stacks of olives. Let's go ahead and pop all that in there. We've got this little integrated socket, which really helps us out. It gets this thing going really quickly. Whoa. Whoa, seriously? Oh my goodness. Whoa, wait a minute. Before we go ahead and press all of these, that was seriously... Oh, man. Can we perhaps cut it into smaller portions, I wonder? What about just over an ounce? It's like almost an ounce and a quarter. Does that still give us 10? Yeah, so I don't know if that's broken or what, but we wasted, about a little over 10 pounds of olives right there by squeezing it into 10 millibuckets of olive oil. So that's not exactly ideal, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm probably just gonna put these away for a little while until I can be bothered to deal with something like that. Alright, so we've got all of these black steel ingots up here. I've got all of the olives put away, and we have got some makings of some of the lower tier metals right here. So what we are going to do, because the red steel and black steel actually cost some of this lower tier metal, I'm going to actually go ahead and do up some of it right now. So the way we're going to do it is pulling out the ingot molds, because we want it all to melt together before it starts trying to pull it out. So we're going to do up some black bronze first, and what we want is the max of gold and silver and the least of copper. So we're going to do 25% gold and silver and 50% copper. And there it is. We have got 25% of each and 50% of the copper, and so now we can go ahead and put in our ingot molds, and watch it start going out while this starts replenishing its power. While that is all going through, we are going to go and run a couple of errands real quick. And it's going to start by taking 12 ingots of copper and running it through a plate press mold like so. And there we go, 12 copper plates. We will toss those up here into this ghost table, put the 12 plates in right there, and put in our 12 sand. And in any second now, the sand will melt into liquid glass, and we will get a few of these fluid tanks like so. Then we got to clear this out, otherwise this red bar will keep filling up and it'll drain out all of our power. I found out that a double chest does not work with this setup because the hopper will only put it into the chest that it's actually pointing into. So it was only going into the top 2 rows, and it wasn't actually going into the bottom 2 rows on a double chest. So now I have to actually pull out the hot ingots manually and put them in a separate chest over here to watch them continue cooling. Otherwise, they build up in the hopper, which does not allow them to cool down. Alright, all the black bronze is cooling off. We're going to next take 12 copper ingots, 4 bismuth, and 4 zinc. The numbers that we are aiming for here for the bismuth bronze is... we're aiming for minimum zinc, which would be 20%, maximum bismuth, which would be another 20%, and then copper would be the remainder, which was 60%. Alright, there we got it. That's the ratio we wanted with the bismuth bronze. We'll let that go ahead and go. We got our 20 ingots of black bronze. We'll just throw it up there for now. And let's take these tanks that we just crafted up and head over to our tree farm, which we just added those couple extra coke ovens to in the last episode. And as I suspected, these things are totally full. Let's go ahead and remove them and replace them. And how much is that going to fill up? Oh man, almost half of it. So we'll place those in there. We are starting to get quite a lot of these. That is a lot. Each one of these holds 16 buckets of creosote oil. So that's yeah, we've got tons of the stuff. And then let's see, what else do we need? We need to see our charcoal. Oh my god. 4 stacks from each of these. So yeah, we are totally rolling in it. Charcoal is so valuable in this mod pack because you use it to make steel and iron. Appears that we are going to need to come back and make a tree harvest very soon. I'll take a couple of stacks out of here and throw it in this one. And then for our bronze here, we are looking for a 90-tin mix. 90 copper, 10 tin. There's our bismuth bronze. We'll pop those ingot molds back in there, and yep, there it is, 90-tin bronze. Perfect. Next, let's do up some iron blooms in here and some brass ingots as well, so we can make some brass cogwheels for mechanical boards. And we're going to need those for some light engineering blocks, which we will be using for the crusher. The crusher is going to take all of those materials listed right there, the steel scaffolding, light engineering blocks, steel fence, and hoppers. So we have a hopper metal press mold. We need to get a steel fence one and we can't get a scaffolding one, but we can get a rod one. So we'll need to get one of these as well. Alright, once these brass ingots say danger as they do, we will go ahead and pull them out, run them over here to our anvil, weld them together like so. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shrinks, 2 punches, hit, punch, hit. And that is how we do our brass cogwheels, not rivets. And once the iron blooms get into the danger zone, we go ahead and do pretty much the same thing, except while they're super hot, we go ahead and just store them on these shelves so they don't lose any heat value whatsoever, just like we have our pig iron over here. Just in case, I might want to make this into black steel, or I may want to refine it into regular steel. Let's go ahead and stack up these ingots really quick. And then we are going to go ahead and grab the ingredients that we need for red steel. The reason I'm going with red steel first is because I want to use that to make our highest tier anvil. So we're going to need 10 of these black steel, 4 steel, 3 rose gold, and 3 brass ingots. Yeah, so that should do it. That should make us 20 ingots of weak steel. Weak red steel, that is, and then we have to take that and weld it to 20 of these blazing hot black steel ingots that we have right here. So let's remove our ingot molds and let's insert all of these and pray that we got the math right because, yeah, I did not double check this. And if it is wrong, oh, how we have made a really, really expensive error. All right, let's see if we've got this right. Weak red steel. Oh, man. Oh, this is a triumphant moment for me right now. Oh, I'm so excited to get this ball going. We're going to go ahead and get into this high-tier metal. So weak red steel, we will be able to move water source blocks around. And the blue steel, we will actually be able to move lava source blocks around. So it's kind of counterintuitive what you would naturally think. I'm going to go ahead and throw a breaker switch right there because then that will actually lock the hopper. It won't be able to accept any more, and they won't cool off any more than this because, as you can see, yeah, we got to act quick. We already have to weld a couple of these as it is. Oh, let's go. All 4 of them are ready. All right, let's go. 1, 2. Let's store 2 for now. Uh-oh. Let's store it all for right now. Looks like I forgot my hammer downstairs. Looks like this guy was holding my hammer the entire time, so we can go ahead and toss that in there. And now, let's go ahead and take these 2 and weld them together. Is that wrong? Alright, I see what we were doing wrong here. We have to actually work it into an ingot. Like that. Now, we should be able to weld it if we're quick enough. Weld? Oh, we weren't quick enough with it. Okay, this is going to be really, really challenging. Some of these should be really hot, so let's check it out. Is this one really hot? Not really. There we go. High carbon red steel. Let's go ahead and put that away. Oh man, alright, this is going to be a lengthy process. I didn't realize that I needed to work all of these before I actually did this. So, yeah. I will be right back. Alright, after a little bit of time, I've finally gotten this rhythm down. About 5 ingots have passed. So we take the weak red steel, weld it with the black steel, then we do this number, 1 punch, 6 shrinks, and 3 double hits gets us our worked out red steel ingot. And yeah, we need to take 2 of these, toss them in here, weld them together, and that will get us 1 of our double red steel ingots, and we need 7 of those to make an anvil. Alright, so we've gotten ourselves a red steel anvil. Let's go ahead and grab 2 of these. We gotta weld them together to make a double ingot. Work them out into a double sheet. And then bucket. Oh man, we got the bucket. Oh, that is awesome. So now we should be able to move a water source block. Let's go and test it out real quick. So I'm actually pretty curious, can we pull one from a barrel and place it? Oh, yes. Oh, that is awesome. Before then, this was impossible in the series. We could not move any water source blocks or lava source blocks, no matter what kind of bucket that we made. So this is like, oh, this is so game-changing for us. Alright, let's take out our ingot molds. The blue steel is very similar to the red steel. We'll need 10 black steel, 4 regular steel, 3 sterling silver, and 3 bismuth bronze. And there we go. We got some weak blue steel going on. Let's start taking that out. Alright, check that out. We got 20 ingots of blue steel all welded up and all worked out into their ingot form. Let's take 2 of them and make a bucket. So we weld them. Same thing as the red steel bucket. We need to do 3 hits to make a sheet. And there we go. Then the bucket. We need 3 bends for this one. Alright, and there we go. We have our lava bucket. Really cool. The closest lava source block that I know of near us is like 5,000 blocks away, something like that, so we won't be going there. Not today, anyways. Now let's take our ingots right here. We're going to cool them off. And then we're going to run them each through the rolling machines to get these plates like this, so I don't have to really work them on an anvil. And that is going to be our indicator plates for our metal room. And here it is. We have the metal room right here. Did a little bit of changing around. Shrunk this down by 1 so it's not even with the forge anymore. And that was simply so that I can make the transition a little bit better. Because right here we were going steel and then black steel, and then I had these 3 spaces where I had to try and figure out what to do. But now I think it's, it's flowing a little bit better. We got the nickel moved over here, the lead moved to this position, and the brass over here, whereas it was squeezed right in this spot with the bismuth here. So yeah, a little bit of moving around, and then we've got underneath every single one of these blocks here, we have jack-o'-lanterns, and that's because I actually chiseled the blocks behind here, so they are like totally transparent, and we can get the lighting effect through them. Let's go ahead and start up one of these iron blooms right here in the bloomery. I've been really considering building a second bloomery, and yeah, that would be extremely useful. I had previously pressed that button 2 times before recording this, by the way, in case you were wondering. That did only pulse 8 times. And then let's get a load of steel going as well. So we'll need 20 flux, and then I've actually got these few barrels right here. This is all rich quality limonite right here. We're going to need 20, and then these 2 barrels are also totally full of that. So we will take our limonite, our flux, and our charcoal, and we will just kind of toss it on up against the trap door right there. And that is good for 7 ingots of pig iron, which we then work into steel. And coming up here, you can see that we have got all of our blue steel all worked out, and check it out, guys. We have got all of these different blue steel tools to play with. Really nice. I went ahead and crafted one of these. What's it called? A halberd or a halbeard? I'm not exactly sure what you call it, but it's got a really slow attack speed, but oh my goodness, it does 680 attack damage. So it's pretty substantial because our sword was doing 243. So almost triple the attack damage right there. Also went ahead and crafted a pickaxe, a shovel, an axe, and a scythe. I'm not gonna use those quite yet. With our regular steel shovel, we can instamine sand, so I'm curious if we can instamine gravel or dirt or anything else with that. But we'll check that out probably next episode when we go and do a little bit of adventuring. The reason we're going to do some adventuring is because I need a better power source, and now that we have this baby, we are going to get a better power source. This thing right here, the thermoelectric generator. So if you're unfamiliar with this, what you do is you put a hot block next to it on one side and a cold block next to it on one side, and you generate RF power from that. So if I set up a couple of those running into a medium voltage capacitor, if we are to upgrade this, we will really be moving ahead in the RF power stages of this game. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut all of this lumber out for now anyways. And we're going to open this up. Great, it started to rain. Alright, so our immediate plan of action is to construct this crusher. Now, we have actually went through and created all of the materials that we're going to be needing for this. So we have some fences, some steel scaffolding, and where's our carpenter? We've got some light engineering blocks as well. So all the stuff that we are going to need to make this thing, let's go ahead and get busy on building a small porch to support the structure. Well, it looks like I am missing the hoppers from this recipe, but that's okay. We will go ahead and place everything that we do have. Whoa, there we go. I can't remember if that goes there or not. I know we need one right here. 2 right here. Is that right? Yes, that's right. And then we need 8 steel scaffolding here. Or steel, what is this? Steel fences. Now let's go ahead and grab our hoppers real quick. To do that, we're going to need to get some iron double sheets going. So we need 9 hoppers, and they cost 4 ingots apiece. That's 36 ingots. Oh man, this is going to be quite expensive, actually. I think we'll make an extra couple as well. So now we gotta roll them up. Alright, we got 3 double sheets. Let's see if we can weld all 8 of these at once. Let's do it. We gotta run to this anvil. 1, 2, 3. Weld. 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 And weld. Easy, easy, easy. Alright, cool. Now we just got to do one more batch, and then we'll go and press them in the metal press. So now we'll grab our hopper mold, throw it on the plate press, and toss all these things in, unlock the breaker switch, and we should be getting some hoppers. There we go. There we go, 11 hoppers, and we have our engineer's hammer now. And now let's go ahead and place, I believe they just go on top of all of this. Alright, and then do we click this one? Oh, there it goes. Alright, cool. And let's go ahead and get our saw out and open up this wall a little bit more so we can see a little bit of what's going on with this. So there's some power input there. Oh, okay, and that's for like a lever, so we can toggle on and off. This must be the output right here, where our chest will be at. Yeah, so we need to hook up power over there, which means I'll probably end up sticking. Yeah, I might end up sticking a thermoelectric generator just right off of here anyways. Let's see. Yeah, we could do it like this. Yeah, that'll work. We'll end up putting a thermoelectric generator right here in the center and hooking up directly to the crusher with that, but then also integrating another one somewhere so that we can charge up probably a medium voltage capacitor. And if you couldn't tell, we also got a blue steel hat and boots, so that is pretty awesome. Really cool. I do look forward to making the rest of the armor, but, you know, it is what it is. I wanted to make a bunch of tools first, and we ran totally out of both types of our exotic metals. So we'll just have to go through and use this crusher that we've got behind us in order to quadruple, at the minimum, our metals. That's right, guys. You will see what I mean in the next episode. See ya.